What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode of the show. It is Friday. It is September 7th. And you know what? Don't have much on the docket today. So we are going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I'm sure we will find some things to get into. We'll find some discussion topics to have. Let me go. Tezrim once again. First man alive. Tezrim is the first man alive. He is the last man standing. How come nobody can beat this guy? Nobody can jump ahead of him. What is going on here? Tezrim seems to just have this instinctual ability to be the first on the docket. So what I'm doing right now is I am going into my little channel. I need to change this to episode 194. VR Game Rankings. Okay, here we are. This is all good now. Alrighty, so here we are. And hopefully today, as far as today's show is concerned, obviously we're hoping we don't have the same kind of technical difficulties that have plagued the show the last couple of days. But we're making changes. We're making improvements. That is what this is all about. This show has morphed over time. Chat has become a really big part of the show. We have this large chat window over there. We have, of course, this video window right here, and then we have our game trailer window. This has kind of been the normal way we've done this show for all this time, for a number of weeks that we've been doing this, like a month or whatever, right? I don't know how long has it been. And now we're changing things up a little bit. We're adding some other things. You know, we got the web browser, we got full screen trailers, you know, stuff like that. So we can do a couple of other things. And hopefully the audio will be good as far as all that goes. I'm still hoping to have a guest on Skype. So where is my guest? Where is Epix? Where is Sebastian? Where is Gary or Steve or Chris or anybody that would like to guest, because I want to try my special guest window. Hopefully you guys still hear me right now. Chat is not showing up in here, but maybe it'll show up in a second. No, maybe. That's weird. My trailer is all messed up. So my special guest window is apparently jacked up. I think I just need to resize the trailer over there. That's the web browser with small window. So here's my special guest. Yeah, I'm not sure why chat isn't showing up right now. Let me go ahead and resize this window. I think once this window is resized and locked in, it's all good. Not sure why chat isn't showing up though. Oh, maybe I just need to add chat. Duh. I just need to add chat. I mean, how dumb is that? Okay, so hold on. I just need to add chat. So let's see. Web browser, or no, special guest. Okay, add browser and chat. But now I got to resize this. So just when you thought it was safe to go outside and enjoy this show because you thought we finally had technical issues wrapped up, just when you thought, that's when, oh man, you know what, I probably have to like redo the sizes and all that shit. Order, we're trying to move down. Doesn't seem to want to do anything. So I guess I'll worry about that later. I'm just going to leave this over here and we'll figure that out later. But yeah, so I guess we don't have things completely fixed. I had to go and screw up the show again today at the start. Sponge720 says we will not be ignored. Yeah, you know, chat is a big part of the show. T-Dub. Hey, everybody, what is going on? We got Hilmar VR, Nick Daniels, Greg's VR, the Rex Terra, Fluke, Jordan Complex. Jordan Complex got a new job so he can watch this show from his work desk. Happy Friday, Anthony. That is Kev Gret. Yeah, it's Friday. I am excited. It is the weekend. There's always good things. You know, one thing I will be able to talk about a little bit today is Winland Stu. I played some Winland Stu yesterday, and I will talk about that. A little bit. Now, there is an embargo. There is a review embargo until a certain day at a certain time, so I can't say too much about Winland Stu. Of course, I don't have a review. I barely touch the game. But let's go ahead and do our intro first. Why don't we? VR Game Rankings. Daily Vlog Live, episode 194. It is Friday. It is September 7th. Yes, this is the VR Game Rankings show. And this is a new episode of the show for Friday. We're hoping a lot less technical difficulties. So Paradise Decay, Winland Stu hype, baby. Paradise, have you done a Winland Stu impressions video yet? Because as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Paradise, I know there's an embargo on the review, but I believe what SciTech Games has kind of said is go ahead and talk about the game, discuss the game, but don't give a review until this embargo day. So Paradise is the hardest working guy in the biz. So if he doesn't have a Winland Stu video up yet, it's probably coming in the very near future, because that is what Paradise is all about. Okay, let me go ahead and change this trailer here to something different. Let's change it to this. So see this, guys? This is Benson, and I'm putting this on the screen because where is Jay Benson? I haven't seen Jay Benson in chat. Wondering what is Jay Benson doing, but that is for Jay Benson. Hopefully he'll show up in chat in the near term. Let's see, what else do we want to get into here? I'm just going to throw on a random trailer. And let's do Dr. Splorchy. It's a fun trailer to have on in the background. Has anybody checked this out? This is another Squanch Games, Dr. Splorchy. This is on Daydream. Anybody out there have Daydream? Wonder if this is pretty cool. We'll see if it'll eventually make... Oh, the Jordan Complex says, never expected a regular show reference. Nah, the regular show is the bomb. I love the regular show. I especially love Muscle Man from the regular show. I love his voice. Like, whoever does the Muscle Man voice, oh, I love that. I just super love that. Yeah, no, my kids got into the regular show, and I get exposed to all this crazy stuff because I have these millennial kids, they love the regular show. They watch all these other YouTubers, like the millennial YouTubers, they watch people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul and Rice Gum and KSI, and when they had that big fight between KSI and Logan Paul on YouTube, like they were really into that, and I get exposed to this kind of stuff that I would have no awareness of whatsoever if I didn't have kids in that age range. Oh, the Jordan Complex is 24. He'd be friends with them probably. So a millennial is in the building. The Jordan Complex, a millennial. You're one of those people that want me on Discord, right? No, just kidding. And Logan is in the building. Silver is here. And Chris Cox. So Paradise is saying he's waiting closer unto the release. So yeah, I don't know. I thought I saw something as far as SciTech Games basically saying, look, you can kind of talk about Winland Stu, you just can't review the game. So I thought I would give my basic first impressions of Winland Stu. But we can do that a little bit later. Now, let's see. Were there any new trailers or anything I wanted to get into today before we get started? And, well, there is one trailer that we should take a look at, and that is Zero Killed. Now, this was a very late announcement yesterday. Found out about Zero Killed, a release date for Zero Killed. We found this out at the very end of the show. And for a second there, I was thinking Zero Caliber, Zero Killed. I'm trying to get all these games straight in my head because we already knew Zero Caliber is supposed to be a September game. We don't have an exact date for September, but now we do have an exact date for Zero Killed. So let's go ahead. Let's check this trailer out.
Data access point is in the silo.
Good. There
4 zeros inside. Let's make this quick. Go in, plant the hacking device, get the data, and leave us up. Ready?
Ready?
Ready.
In position. Tagging. On your mark.
Ox, blow that shit up.
I thought you'd never ask.
These voiceovers, though?
Covering the entrance, Hydra.
Good one.
This, you bastard! Oh, fuck! Ox down.
Biatch, header down.
Watching your 6.
Moving in.
Pretty long trailer, right? Had to go to the little small video window because this thing is taking so dang long. So that is Zero Killed, and it is launching on September 26 for the Vive and the Rift. Is PlayStation VR version also coming on September 26? I'm not sure, because I think this was in development for PlayStation VR as well. This game originally was called, I believe, Special Forces VR, or VR. Yeah, I think it was Special Forces VR. And then the name got changed to Zero Killed. And the name of the developer changed as well. These guys, as far as I know, they were called VR Vizio, was the name of the developer. But now the developer name is IGN Ignibit, or I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that, ING Ignibit. This game does look like it has some very silly voiceovers, to be sure. Some of the voiceovers.
This, you bastard!
Yeah, some of the voiceovers look pretty funny. Let's see. So the Jordan Complex says Zero Killed sounds like my usual FPS stats. And Logan68 says he will be buying this. Zero Killed is what happens when I play Pavlov. If you are on PSVR, check your email. There is a code for a free VR MOBA game. Yeah, I did hear about this, Dark Eclipse. A lot of people seem to be getting a free code for that, which is interesting. So yeah, what a great release date reveal. That was Tesrim. Yeah, it's kind of cool how they put it on the laptop like that for the release date. Launches on September 26th. What I need to see here, though, is there a PlayStation VR logo right away? Sign up for Steam closed beta at Played Zero Killed. Wishlist now on Steam. Yeah, I did not see like an actual PlayStation logo. Yeah, there is a name change for this game, Zero Killed. It was called Special Forces VR, I believe, and it was developed by VR Vizio. But the one thing I will say in regards to this trailer here, graphically, like, let's just look at the graphics, because this says VR gameplay footage, so this should be actual legitimate footage. Like right there, I really love the textures on that wall. This looks good. Like that scene right there, the scope looks good. Firewall 0 Hour is obviously a huge game right now on PSVR, and there's probably a lot of PC VR players that are a little bit jealous of Firewall 0 Hour, and there's good timing for all of these FPS games, somewhat realistic FPS games that are all going to be coming out in September. We've got Zero Caliber, and now we also have Zero Killed, and Zero Killed has locked down September 26 as its release date. Zero Caliber was supposed to be a September game as well. Don't know if it's still going to make it, but that is 0 killed. So yeah, so we found out about that very late on yesterday's episode. Didn't get a chance to download the trailer, check that out. I think it looks kind of cool. I know it's been in development for a very long time, so that's a good thing. But that's pretty much it. Let's see. So I also wanted to bring up, let me see if I can open up this Magic Leap video. Okay, I'm going to have to resize this a little bit here. But this is kind of interesting. This is this multiplayer testing thing that I saw in the Magic Leap subreddit. And this is like 4 Magic Leap players are playing all at the same time. Whoops. Let me see if I can get, I don't know if there's audio. Yeah, there is audio. Okay, let's check this out for a second and see what this is all about.
Alright guys, let's pick our guns together. Nice.
Okay, we'll check this out. 4 Magic Leap players, I believe, are playing simultaneously. And incredibly advanced graphics. Look at how advanced these graphics are. This is truly next gen. I've never seen human models quite like this. Oh my god, there's the ability to shoot at targets. But, you know, 4 people are playing at the same time in the same, I guess these guys are not in the same location. One guy must be here, and then the other 3 guys are sharing that environment. What I'm actually more interested in regards to Magic Leap, in regards to seeing this kind of video, I'm more interested in 4 people being in the same location. That's what I want to see. I want to see 4 people in the same location playing Magic Leap. Is that possible? Sure, this is possible, but this is not, I mean, this is cool. I mean, obviously it's cool to be in AR and to have a multiplayer, and people could be inside your living room. You have all these other multiplayer guys inside your living room. But I guess they're seeing their own living rooms, right? Like, only the one guy is seeing this room, and everybody else, so it's kind of weird. What a weird multiplayer thing. It is kind of weird. So that is a Magic Leap trailer that I saw. Kind of interesting, multiplayer. I did think, like, one of the advantages that Magic Leap has over a lot of the VR setups, and this is something that Santa Cruz potentially can have as well, and I really hope Oculus is thinking about these sorts of things in regards to Santa Cruz. But one of the things that VR lacks, and it is a huge downer, is the fact that you can't play multiplayer VR in the same house, in the same play space. I mean, you can if you have 2 different PCs and you have, you know, you have lighthouses and you're playing like hover junkers or something. There's certain things you can play multiplayer in the same room in VR, but that is an incredibly rare thing. That is a super rare subset of what VR has. And one thing that VR is absolutely going to need in the very near future is being able to play multiplayer VR games in the same house, in the same play space at the same time. That's something that we need to have. And Oculus Go, I don't believe Oculus Go does this, right? Like, if I have an Oculus Go on right now and someone's standing next to me and they have an Oculus Go on, I don't believe they are aware of each other in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think you could have any kind of multiplayer game with 2 people standing next to each other. And that's a missed opportunity. And it's an opportunity that Santa Cruz absolutely has got to do this. Like, Santa Cruz needs to be aware of another Santa Cruz within the same play space. I don't know how they do the tracking, though. Maybe they communicate with each other somehow so they can figure out the tracking, so that you'll see kind of the head of another person, you'll see their shoulders, and then you know not to, like, physically bump into them. But we need to have this. We need to have local, legit multiplayer. VR is never going to be super, super mainstream unless you have legit local VR multiplayer, local AR multiplayer as well, which we're not seeing this with Magic Leap in this video. These people, we got one guy. This guy's in San Fran. He's in Santa Clarita, Austin, Texas. And so they're showing the different views. I guess when they switch, it's showing the different views. I was thinking this was all the same living room. Yeah, I guess, okay, it is showing different views. But yeah, must be nice to be a multi-millionaire and to have a Magic Leap 1. But that is interesting. But I kind of like that topic more from the standpoint of, what about VR? You know, what about multiplayer in VR? Okay, so now I got to resize some of these trailer windows to get back to normal here. Let's resize this baby. Okay, get that dialed in. Now let's go to full screen trailer and resize this. And then we should be set from that point on. Okay, so we should be set. Let me turn down Nog. I do like this music, though. It's like happy, cheerful music, right? This one is resized properly. Okay, so we are good. So let's see what people are talking about in chat. Santa Cruz will be awesome for multi-user VR if they're paying attention to this and if they bake it in. Greg's VR says once wireless speeds and bandwidth allows, then it'll happen. Well, hey, 5G, baby, 5G later this year in Sacramento, California, one of the first test markets in the world. Charles Van Nolan, they could do tracking just like how the controllers are tracked, but tracking other headsets' controllers. Well, what I'm thinking is the headsets could somehow communicate to each other, and if they're both sensing the same floor and the same ceiling, they could somehow extrapolate the information of where the other user is, and so try to build a multiplayer thing, right? I believe that's how it's going to have to go. Nick Daniels says, do they really have fun here? What, playing Magic Leap? Hey, I would be having some fun playing Magic Leap. Bullet Ape says, one thing with standalones, no second mirror screen, even less social than current. I like mirror. Didn't think about that aspect of it. That will be something that will have to be figured out. I'm sure it will have to broadcast a wireless video signal somehow, right? Chevy says, I think AR will be good as a personal assistant for social interactions, but can't see it being big in gaming. You just lack the imagination, my young man Chevy. They're going to do some incredible shit for gaming, but the way you got to look at AR gaming is the way you look at phone gaming, the way you look at like DS, like 3DS, like Nintendo Switch. It's going to be that kind of gaming, where VR is going to be that serious experience, the Fallout experience. You know, you're not going to want to do that in AR. But if you're playing like a Tetris game that is on a huge giant wall on a skyscraper, and you're outside and you're playing Tetris, that is freaking badass as well. So Chebby, I think you're not seeing the bigger picture here. Master Indy is in the building, the developer of Jet Island. What is up? So good to have you, Master Indy. What is up? Thanks for showing off my Jet Island video the other day. I just wanted to let you know I have a new trailer on my channel. Oh, hell yes. I will bounce over and grab it. The video you saw was more of a development update video. Yeah, that's what I figured. Master Indy, I will let you know that sometimes I just joke about stuff and try to be a comedian. It doesn't always come off well, but I was probably saying this guy needs to have a legit trailer, you know, or something like that. And then eventually the devs will hop into chat, and then I get embarrassed. And so now I have to pretend. No, but that's really the truth, is kind of joke a little bit. But yeah, so I am bouncing over to Master Indy, his YouTube channel. I will grab the absolute newest trailer, and we can watch this trailer live, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming September 21st, and I'm going to copy it and throw it into 4K video downloader. It's coming September 21st, and we do have the dev in chat, so that is like super cool. So hopefully we will grab that trailer real soon and check that out. Charles Van Nolan says, this game reminds me of the Kyrgyzstan YouTube channel. Well, it's colorful. It's really nice. It's got a little happy vibe. I like Nog. It is available on a lot of different devices as well. I think it started out as a PSVR game, and there is a demo. If you guys have PSVR, you can actually play a demo of Nog that will give you, it's colorful. It is really colorful. It's these dioramas. It's actually pretty freaking cool. Paradise Decay says the first legit Magic Leap app will be a dating buddy. No, it'll be a Kim Kardashian app. You will see you'll be like, okay, show your couch. Okay, now here's your couch with Kim Kardashian. It'll be some crazy shit like that, right? Charles Van Nolan says they could just communicate via Bluetooth. Well, that's what we hope, but are these VR companies, like, is Oculus really thinking about same room multiplayer? Because one of the things that Oculus has to consider is maybe the Santa Cruz is $599 US. What are the chances? Like, what percentage of your market is going to get two people with Santa Cruzes in the same play location? How likely of a scenario is that if less than 10% of your entire user base is going to do something like that? Do you actually go down that road? I don't know. I don't know if you go down that road. Okay, I got the Jet Island trailer, but before we get to that, Main Fan says Kim K's ass is too big for current AR FOV. Yeah, that's an interesting challenge for all AR companies. The Jordan Complex says at Chris Gould, absolutely, but having an AR app that has all your card Pokemon information with you at all times makes it a lot easier. It's the future of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Duel Links, and Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, it is going to revolutionize all of that kind of stuff. Board games. AR is going to revolutionize board games. I always talk about playing Risk, you know, or Monopoly or Sorry or playing poker or anything like that. You sit around a table, the table is right there. Imagine when we get to the point where AR is so good and we have like really little glasses that we're wearing and we're playing Risk or we're playing Monopoly, and as you're playing Monopoly, like animated things are going on that look so freaking cool on your table and you're seeing it. But you could also look at people right next to you. You can grab your cup, you can eat some chips because you're seeing the real world around you. So that is where AR is still a thing. AR is absolutely still a thing. Fuzzy Dragon just got out of Robinson the Journey after I found out they added touch, and I have to say, nothing put me in Jurassic Park as when I was on a branch and raptors jumping to bite at my ankles. Fuzzy Dragon, you do not lie. Robinson the Journey is pretty freaking badass. But check it out, folks. We have the brand new trailer for Jet Island. Let's go ahead and check this out. Let me get some audio for my game trailer window first, though. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'll get some audio so we're prepared here. And let's go ahead and check out this brand new Jet Island trailer as soon as I finally get to it. And almost. There it is, Jet Island. Yeah, so this is the brand new Jet Island trailer, and I gotta say, Master Indy, if you're still in chat right now, you did a bang up job with this trailer. I think it makes it look really good. I like the music. You really can feel this vibe with this game. We've said it before. We feel like there's a lot of similarities to Winlands, but you also kind of have this like hover thing that you're using. You're kind of the Green Goblin, really, and Spider-Man as well. But it's the surrealistic landscape, the tiling, and kind of the fractal look of everything. It has a unique look. It is cool. This looks super cool. I'm telling you, like, I'm not saying this just because the dev is in chat right now. This looks really cool. Like, it really does. Hopefully it'll live up to the hype. We've seen plenty of trailers that looked freaking awesome. And then that looks super cool right there. Like, look at that weird ass contraption that you have to Spider-Man yourself around. It's weird that this game is coming out now September 21st as well, because Winland Stu is next week, and there's definitely similarities in the Winland style grappling hook gameplay. There's definitely similarities, but obviously there are some differences here. You have your jet wrists. At one point, I think the guy had a gun. I thought he had a gun in his hand at one point. And so it's a pretty cool looking world, definitely. I'm certainly looking forward to Jet Island. So Master Indy is in chat. Yeah, my question, Master Indy, basically as far as this is concerned, like, you know, the graphics on the mountains, you know, kind of the way that it's textured and stuff, is that purely from a visual standpoint, or does it have something to do with how the game was designed? Or I'm just curious about that. I mean, it looks cool regardless. Like, stylistically it looks cool, but I didn't know if it also had something to do with the way you design the engine or any of that. But yeah, so let's see what people are saying here. Chris Cox says, is there an end game? Can you actually complete the game? I'm not sure if he's talking about Jet Island or what Chris is talking about there. Oh, is this a free roam thing, or will you have objectives and missions? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if Master Indy answers that. My guess is that the game is called Jet Island. So I basically believe that the game is set on this island, but things happen on this, like there's different things to do on this island, but I don't know if there's like a set story or if it's just kind of a free-for-all. But it certainly looks cool. September has gotten a lot more interesting than really anybody probably could have imagined. Like, we already knew we had Transference coming this month. We, of course, you know, have some big games that are coming still in September, but Jet Island really adds a hell of a lot to it. Okay, so Master Indy answered it, I guess. Oh, at Chris Cox, free roam with boss fights, upgrades, underground areas. So yeah, I think it's kind of a playground, the Jet Island playground, but there will be stuff in different areas of the island, probably, is going to be the type of deal there. So yeah, we're absolutely looking forward to this, no question about it. Master Indy, I have a question. Any possibility of a short demo? And if not, or do you think demos help games? Do they hurt games? I always feel like a really short demo is a good thing, but sometimes it actually hurts developers, so you just never know. Master Indy is answering Chris Cox. Yes, there are giant underground boss fights. Then there is a final boss that is super epic. And he's answering my question about the textures. He says the textures of the game are the way they are to help show speed, scale, and also just to allow me to make the world giant and fully open. I like it. I like the visual style, so it's a cool look. I like the look. Fuzzy Dragon says it reminds me of Reboot. And Chris Cox says a timed demo could work. Yeah, a timed demo. That's the other question, is like, why don't more devs just do like a really short timed demo where you got like 8 minutes of the game, you get a feel for it, but that's about it. But I'm sure there is so much more that goes into having a demo than we probably think. It's always a complicated issue as far as that goes. What about an Oculus Store version? Are you going to have an Oculus Store version for Jet Island? Is it just going to be on Steam? And I think somebody had already asked you about PlayStation VR, and I think he said he's considering at Master Indie. Hope it comes to PSVR someday. That is Kev Gret. And I'd have to imagine, I mean, I just don't know if this would translate to PS4. It might be a harder translation for this game to come to PS4. Because that's the other thing. He has to be able to get it running on a base level PS4, which is not going to be super easy. All right, well, let's see here. I don't actually have any other major news stories going on right now. So what I'll do is I will throw on a rando. Well, Master Indy's still in the building. As long as he's here, I'll go ahead and let this trailer run a little bit longer. So here's what he had to say in chat. He says, for Jet Island, I'm not sure a demo would fit very well. The game is designed to be the most fun as you play through the main path adventure. It will be on Steam and Oculus Home. Okay, so you will be able to get a native Oculus version of this if you like. You'll also be able to get it on Steam, so that is good there. And also, you know, the question was asked, what about PlayStation VR? Any thoughts on that? Probably something you haven't really looked into, I'd imagine. And that probably would have to come sometime in the future, I'm guessing. And there are some reviews on Unknown Fate, so that's something we can check out. So why don't we go ahead and go over to that? I will now switch up to web browser with little video screen, and the only downside with this is chat is now relegated to outside the YouTube window. Unknown Fate Steam. So let's go ahead and check this out. So yeah, Unknown Fate came out yesterday. I did reach out to Mars Lit. I am trying to get a review code for this. Don't know if it's going to happen or not. We only got 3 user reviews. Don't know if anybody on this show jumped on a grenade for this, but let's see what... okay, so this review says, this is by X Meagle, which says, needs a lot more work. Combat is like someone brought me to the 90s, and if you ignore this and all the voice acting, it can actually be interesting. Plot is weird, to say the least. No auto sliders, no mouse cursor to select things. Feels a bit rushed, and some scenes are out of place, but some story concepts meshed together well. So overall, he's giving a recommendation, but a lot of mixed messages in that review. And then we have another review where a guy is linking to a YouTube video, and he says, interesting game with strange story and puzzle ideas. The only negative thing is the audio. Can't adjust the volume, and sometimes hard to hear the conversation. So it sounds like Unknown Fate is a bit on the janky side, but one thing we do have to remember, this is $12.74 right now. Now, of course, this deal is going to end on September 13th, so next week it will go to $15, but you get it for 15% off right now. This is not a super expensive game, but it does look like this game does have its share of issues, so maybe don't jump in unless you're willing to settle for a bit of a jankier game. Another thing that I haven't heard about this, as you can see here, it shows HTC Vive. It does not show Oculus Rift. So one of the questions is, does this work right with an Oculus Rift? So we're not sure about that. So let's see what is going on in chat. Let's see if we have any more answers. Okay, so Master Indy, this is in response to possibly getting it on PSVR, and what he had to say is, I'm going to try to get it on PSVR. I don't know yet if it will run well. Like you said, I'm making the game with Unity. I wrote a completely custom physics movement system just for this game. Unity should run on PS4. The real question is going to be, how watered down does it have to be to run on a base level vanilla PlayStation VR with a vanilla PlayStation 4? Because I don't believe Sony will not allow a game to only be available on PS4 Pro. It has to run on base level PS4, so you'd have to be able to work it down there like that. And then he says, at Nick Daniels, the speed is not capped. There is no limit to how fast you can go if you have the skill. Some of the beta players have reached speeds over 2,000 miles per hour. Oh my goodness. What another question I have, Master Indy, what about motion sickness? Like, would you compare this to, say, Winlands in terms of like motion sickness? Like, most people that wouldn't get sick in something like Winlands, would they have no problem with this? Do you have maybe a higher rate of motion sickness among people than, say, something like Winlands? I'm kind of curious about the motion sickness factor. I can play a game like Winlands no problem, but I know there's other people can't handle it. So you do have that hoverboard there that does add that interesting element. So you can kind of look down at the hoverboard and also have your hands there as well, which that might help a little bit with the motion sickness, to kind of have something to, ground you a little bit. Chris Gould says, motion sickness, bring it on. And Phil Yarn is in the building. Phil Yarn, guess what, buddy? You know what I grabbed? Well, actually, this is courtesy of Barker's Crest Studio. I got a code for Tea Time Golf. So, yeah, I got a code for Tea Time Golf. So I will be playing Tea Time Golf. Let me go ahead and... Oh, yeah, this is the 720p video. I forgot about this one. 720p for Tea Time Golf. But Barker's Crest Studio, Matt Davis, I believe, sent me a code for this game, so I will be able to try this out, and maybe we can try playing a multiplayer game. So Phil Yarn, I'm not sure if you're on Reddit, but go ahead and send me a private message on Reddit, Anth, capital A, NTH916, and we can try figuring out how to get into a multiplayer game so we can kick it and play a game of Tea Time Golf. Definitely down to check this out. This was back when the Windows Mixed Reality headsets first came out. Tea Time Golf was actually one of the exclusive games that was on the Windows Store for Windows Mixed Reality. So if you were like a brand new Acer headset user, or Lenovo or HP or any of the various Windows Mixed Reality headsets, like right when they came out, and if you wanted to use that Windows Store, Tea Time Golf was actually one of the games that was exclusively in there. It wasn't on Steam. It wasn't on Oculus Store, but now it is available on Steam. And I reached out to Barker's Crest Studio. I do have a review code for this, so I am going to get in this. I am going to check this out. Haven't checked it out yet, but I'll be checking it out later today. Okay, Chris Cox is saying, how is Winland Stu? But before we get to that, Master Indy says, yeah, if you can handle Winlands, you'll have no problem with Jet Island. The movement is very solid, and I think the high speeds actually help a lot with motion sickness. So yeah, I definitely can handle Winlands, and I can't say a lot about Winlands, but you know what? What do I like to say? I've barely scratched the surface. I have barely scratched the surface. Let me see where I can find my Winlands trailer for the new Winlands trailer. Get that on here. Winlands 2. Yes, Winlands 2. So hold on, let me resize this. Yes, I did get an opportunity. This is like the perk of doing what I do, having a little VR gaming website, and doing this daily vlog and being on VR Roundtable. This is the perk. This is the perk. Every once in a while, Argentina VR checking in. What is up, Argentina? I definitely want to visit Argentina at some time. I absolutely want to visit Argentina. I want to visit South America. Argentina would be a cool place to visit. So I will be looking you up, Argentina VR. What city are you in? Chris Gould, he says, I am still enjoying Tea Time Golf. I am stupidly bad at it, though. And Chris Cox, of course, says, how is Winland Stu, Anthony? Well, here is Winland Stu. It is on the screen. And basically what I'll say about Winland Stu is I got into this last night, and this is one of the true beautiful things about being involved in this industry and sometimes getting early opportunities to play stuff like this. And this is what I got. I got an early opportunity to jump into Winland Stu. And one of the things I was most concerned about going into this game, I was concerned that the graphical style looked so different to me, not necessarily in this trailer, but in some of the earlier videos that I saw. The graphical style looked so different that I was a little bit worried that they like changed the core game engine to Winland Stu, because I kind of had this feeling that if it isn't broke, don't fix it. You know, if the Winland Stu, I mean, if Winland's core gameplay loop works so good, don't break that. You know, it's already working great. And so my initial fear was this looks a lot different. Now, this trailer actually doesn't look super different from the original Winlands. Obviously, it's a different style, but like the actual, like the backbone of it looks like it's very similar to the engine that the original Winlands was running on. And I'm happy to report, like super early in this game, just initial impressions of having some time with Winland Stu. I'm happy to report that it's basically Winlands. It is basically Winlands. So if you have played Winlands, this is just like getting back on your bike and immediately riding your bike. It feels good. It has that vibe. It has the music. The one thing that they've added in this version of Winlands, I haven't tried any multiplayer. I've just done the single player part of it. But the one thing that they've added is they've added a bow. So now you have a bow. You see these people shooting bows, and I haven't gotten that hang glider yet. I don't know if you get a hang glider, but you do get a bow, and there are certain areas of some combat that you have to deal with. There's platforming, of course, just like the original Winlands. You can jump really far, you can run and then jump an incredibly long distance, and then of course you have your classic Spider-Man ability, and you can swing through the trees with the greatest of ease. And it does have this kind of Southwest Arizona, New Mexico kind of styling to it, which is really cool. The waterfalls of sand, I did see some of that yesterday. That was really cool. But I'm super early. I can't say too much about it, but it's definitely the Winlands that we know and love. I will say that I don't know that this is like the dream of all dreams, so maybe expectations might need to be chilled a little bit, but it feels very much like Winlands. And if you've played through the first Winlands and you've grasped everything that Winlands has to offer, then this is a great opportunity to go down that road. Of course, you know, hey, for the average Joe Blow out there, there's a lot of people out there. You're going to have to make a decision against something like this and Jet Island, which is coming later this month. You know, Winland Stu jumping ahead of Jet Island. Gameplay kind of similar, but probably very different. Remember, Jet Island is basically this island where everything happens on this island, and Winlands is taking you to different stages. There is some story element that's going on now in this game as well. It's kind of a bigger production than the original Winlands. I'm definitely liking it, absolutely liking it, but still super early on in that. Okay, so let's see, what are people talking about in chat? Chevy says, I want to play that Tea Time Golf. I'll bet I'm worse than you. Yeah, we're all going to suck until we finally figure out. And Master Indy says, thank you so much, Anthony, for sharing my game. Absolutely no problem. Let me tell you, Master Indy, your game Jet Island came at a perfect time, because we found that 9-minute video that you had. We popped that on, and it was a game that kind of caught me off guard. And so we had a lot of fun, like, oh, dude, Jet Island is in the mix. And we talked about it, of course, in the Games of September on our show on the 1st. We feel like Jet Island is a big game for September. We are looking forward to it, absolutely. So we are excited for your game. Argentina VR says, for vacations is the perfect opportunity. Come here, $1 is equal to 40 pesos here. yeah, I definitely would like to check out South America. Argentina would be super cool. Chris Gould says, never played real golf, and this game tells me that I never will. Still real fun, though. Fun being bad. I have played real golf, and real golf is fun, but I would only like playing like 9 holes. Like, I don't want to do the full 18 holes thing. Coming soon? No, I'm not coming to South America anytime soon that I know of. So it would be random how I would end up getting there. I have no idea. But I look forward to going to all these different cities, all these different places, and I think sometimes it'll just happen randomly. So just don't worry about it, and you'll end up there somehow. Paradise Decay says, Anthony, how did it run on your PC? I assume he's talking about Winland's. Some VR content creators I know have had slowdown issues on the Rift. The very first time I was in it, it didn't load up right. I quit out of it, and then it seemed to work pretty much fine. There might have been some slight little issues here and there, but mostly it was fine. But the very first time I tried, when I first put on Winlands, oh my god, dude, I put on Winland Stu last night. It wasn't working at all, and I'm thinking, man, this isn't even going to work. I'm not even going to be able to tell anybody about it. This is going to suck. I didn't get it to work. But then I quit out of it, closed everything down, started it up again, and bam, it worked perfectly fine. But I might have had some slight minor issues. Let's see. Greg's VR says, it depends on the golf ball simulation. If it's a generic swing in the general area thing, or if your actual swing is important. Well, that's where it gets into, do you want a real serious golf game, or do you want something like, the classic golf games that were on PlayStation? What is that? The series by Clap Hands. Man, I can't think of the name. Everybody's Golf, or what's that game? Like, some people want that game, and some people want the Tiger Woods golf, where it tries to be super realistic. So it depends on what you're looking for. I need to take a sip of some water here. Yeah, absolutely needed that. Fun golf for the win. So yeah, we will be checking out some Tea Time Golf. Hot shots. Oh my god, a complete brain fart. Yeah, hot shots. Everybody's golf in Japan, but we know it as Hot Shots Golf. Did any of you guys have a PlayStation Vita? Because Hot Shots Golf on the Vita was so freaking good. Oh my god, it was so good. So yeah, that's what we want. That's what I kind of want, is a Hot Shots, a simple golf. I wouldn't mind a Tiger Woods style golf, like a realistic golf. But if I was doing a Tiger Woods style golf, I would want some type of golf club, like with actual weight, like the real freaking, I'd want to try to really simulate it if I was doing like a Tiger Woods. Chris Gould says, it sure is a casual game, but it is clear that the swing is important and seems well implemented. So we're talking about Tea Time Golf. So yeah, so anyway, we've covered a number of things. We are almost 1 hour into this thing. So I thought, why don't we bounce over to some of the various websites and see what the latest stories are. I'm going to go to Upload VR, and let's see what the big stories of the day. Man, they're still pimping this 100 VR game thing. They're on day 5 now. So yeah, again, you can go check out the top 200 games of the Vive or the Rift on VRGameRankings.com. But, when you don't have a big story to go to, this is the type of stuff you do. I do understand that. C network multiplayer with Magic Leap 1. Yes, we did check that out. I'm actually going to click on this, though, and see if they had any more details on that. We've already seen this video. It's a 45-second clip posted by JJ Castillo. Shows several Magic Leap users connecting for a network multiplayer game, despite each of them being in different physical locations. Yeah, my big question again is, I don't want to be in different locations. I want to be in the same room. Can you do this in the same room? Noah, where's Noah when you need him? Because that's the real Magic Leap question I have. Can you do this in the same room? Because yeah, it's certainly cool being able to do it multiplayer. I mean, that is cool. Everybody sees their own living room, but they see these other like ghosts of players that are floating in their living room and they're playing a shared experience. That's cool. I have no problems with that. But can you do it in the same room? Because that's where we really need, because we don't really have that. We don't have that with any VR platform, really. You can try it with a Vive and 2 computers and, you know, you only need 2 lighthouses, 2 computers. You can kind of do that like hover junkers and stuff. I know Chris from VR Roundtable, he's played hover junkers and that kind of experience. You can do that. Let's see, Zone of the Enders, they've got a review for that. Inelegant VR support for a cult classic. Firewall takes the top spot in US August play. Wait, is this the top spot among flat games too? If this is the situation, this is actually really huge news. Holy shit. I guess it's number 1 in the USA, even over flat games, right? Over flat games. Let me check the US iteration of the charts. So this is at Blog PlayStation, and okay, so this is top downloads. Oh no, see, they separate it. PS4 games, PSVR games. Yeah, Madden NFL 19. See, I was like, wait a minute. You're telling me Firewall Zero Hour was more popular than Madden, more popular than Grand Theft Auto 5? See, that would have been big news. Okay, so it's the number 1 PSVR game. Not a huge shocker there. Job Simulator coming in at number 2. I mean, that is the popularity of Job Simulator, especially among anyone under the age of like 13. They love Job Simulator. Surgeon Simulator, Experience Reality. If you asked me, would that chart as one of the top 10 downloads, I'd be like, hell no, but it is. That's kind of interesting. Super hot. Killing Floor. I have heard the PSVR version of Killing Floor is supposed to be damn good. Rick and Morty actually is supposed to be ass on PlayStation VR. That's what I have always heard. I have heard the PSVR version of Rick and Morty, most people say it's broken. Like it has serious issues. Arizona Sunshine coming in at number 7. Electronauts. I'm happy for Electronauts because Electronauts is a really fine piece of software. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, one of my all-time favorite PlayStation VR games, and maybe one of the most underrated VR games in all of VR, period, and that is PlayStation VR Worlds. Wow, they still rank PS Vita games after all this time. Can you believe that? I didn't know Stardew Valley was on PS Vita. So yeah, we got some interesting information here. Firewall does take the top spot, not among all PlayStation 4 games though. I got the false thought process there. Quill from Moss says congrats to Spider-Man in the cutest way possible. Aw, isn't that sweet? So let's go back to chat and let's see what people are talking about. So let's see. Oh, Tress Start TV. Whatever happened to Alvo? Yeah, what happened to that game? That was by Modenpol or something like that, is a developer of that game. Haven't heard anything about Alvo. We've got Zero Caliber, we've got Zero Killed, we've got Firewall, we've got a million games of that style. So maybe Alvo might want to take a break and wait until January because we've almost are overloaded in that category. Let's see. Kev Gret says, yeah, no way it beat Madden. And Greg's VR says, LOL Madden, laugh out loud Madden. Madden needs to end that NFL exclusivity thing. Oh, do they ever. How nice would it be if there was actual legitimate competition? Chris Gould says, how are all those old games still there? Yeah, probably talking about, what do you call it? Job Simulator and PlayStation VR Worlds and all of that. A lot of the older games are there. So let's see, what other news stories can we get to? So that's what they got going on over here. Once again, you know, the open beta for Echo Combat, that is live, folks. Let's see what Road to VR has as their lead stories of the day. Let's see here. And Road to VR says, this Magic Leap 1 demo offers a peek into the future of multiplayer VR. See, here's the thing, guys. I showed this video on my vlog on this daily vlog live, right? And then Upload VR was like, we better write a story on this because Anthony just did a video of it. And Road to VR was like, yeah, we got to write a story too. Anthony just did a video of it. Nah, I like to think that that would be the case. But hey, so I grabbed that Magic Leap video. I was thinking ahead of time. This is a big story, y'all. Firewall 0 Hour tops PSVR's most downloaded game list. Okay, that's a better title. Oh, this is something I can talk about. Carly and the Reaper Man. Yeah, Carly and the Reaper Man. So this is by Odd Raven Studios, I believe, right? Let me see. Yeah, Odd Raven Studios, the Stockholm-based developers. So do you guys remember I got a code for this? Carly and the Reaper Man from Odd Raven Studios. They hooked me up with a code, and I wanted to play this game because I was like, well, I had just finished playing Moss, and I really enjoyed Moss. And so, like, yeah, the idea of a platformer in VR, it kind of looked like Moss to me because it looked like you could be this big character, like that big guy on the outside, the Reaper Man. You could be that guy, but you could also be the little Kari, which is the Carly, which is kind of like the Quill character in this game. And so I was like, yeah, I want to get a code for this game. And I contacted Odd Raven Studios, and they sent me a code for the game. And I never knew. I had no freaking idea that this game requires, like literally required, you to have two local multiplayers. I mean, two people. So you have one person in a VR headset, and then you have one person like on an Xbox controller or on the keyboard on that same computer. That's the only way that you can play this. So the only way I was going to be able to play it is to convince one of my sons to play this Carly and the Reaper Man game with me. And I told them, and they're like, nah, man, I don't want to play that. And they're not, if it ain't freaking Zero Killed, they don't want to play it. I mean, if it doesn't look like a game that looks like that, they're not very interested, right? Population 1 is probably what they would be into. And so I couldn't convince one of them to play this with me. So I really couldn't play this game. So I felt really bad for Odd Raven Studios. You know, they hooked me up with this code. I wanted to play this game, but I really couldn't play it. But now I can. So I need to make a mental note of this. The two things that I need to try later today is Tea Time Golf, and I need to try playing this in a single player version because it does have a single player version today. Carly and the Reaper Man was originally designed as an asymmetrical cooperative game where a non-VR player controls Carly. Yeah, like the person on the Xbox controller controls Carly, and then you're this Reaper Man guy. Now you're going to be able to bounce between both of them. So that is really cool. Let's see, is this available today? Because they're saying doing the final testing. Let's see here. Yeah, starting today. Starting today, it is getting a single player experience. So I will definitely play this today. This is definitely and there's going to be a PSVR version in the works as well. That is also some other little breaking news, although we do not know when that is going to arrive. It is purchasable on Steam, the Oculus Store, and there may be a demo with a few early levels, but the demo doesn't appear to be live yet. But there's also going to be a demo of this. So hopefully Carly and the Reaper Man can now be a game that I can get into. So, I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see. People over here in chat are talking about 2K needs to come back about Madden. Yeah, of course. And Greg's VR says Spider-Man looks dope. I have to admit, but I'm not down with flat gaming anymore. Yeah, there's a part of me that is tempted. I have to say there is a part of me that is tempted to go to my local Redbox and try to grab Spider-Man if I can find it. Man, I thought I had Carly and the Reaper Man on this PC, but maybe I don't. Oh wait, I do have it. I just got to find the right trailer. The right folder. Okay, this is in recent stuff. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna throw on the trailer for Carly and the Reaper Man. Okay, so this is Carly and the Reaper Man. I'll make it full screen for a minute here. We'll check it for a little bit. Yeah, see, you know what happened here is I saw a number of like screenshots and stuff about this game, Carly and the Reaper Man. Like I saw these cool screenshots and things, and I just assumed, I thought, oh, this must be like Moss. Like you get to be both people. I had no freaking idea that it literally required one person on a controller and one person in VR. I had no freaking clue. I hadn't seen this trailer. I had only seen some screenshots. And I thought, oh, this looks like a cool platformer. I'd love to check it out. I contacted Odd Raven Studios, and then to my chagrin, I figure out, oh man, I can't play this game. Like I literally started playing it, and then my character just stopped. And then I realized, and then one time I tried to play it with an Xbox controller and with my headset. I tried to be both people at the same time just to try to like get around it, but it was too convoluted, so I had to give up on that. But yeah, so this came out back on June 19th on Oculus and on Steam VR, and now it does have a single player mode, so that's kind of cool. But nobody in chat seems to give a damn, so that's unfortunate for Odd Raven Studios. Okay, so what are people talking about in chat? T-Dub says, Anthony, Submerged VR Escape the Room. The review on Steam confirms it does have multiple rooms. Okay, well, multiple rooms, that does add a lot more value to it, because I was thinking at $4, if it was only that one elevator filling with that like elevator shaft thing filling up with water, that would have been kind of lame. The Jordan Complex says, speaking of Spider-Man, have you kept up with the updates for the Unbreakable Gumball? No, I have not. Kev Gretz says, I love VR, but I am playing Spider-Man for at least 5 hours tonight. A good game is a good game. No, you are a traitor, young man. I'm just kidding. Notice CCP has been bought out. I know they ditched VR games, but still. Wow, really? Who bought them? And Fuzzy Dragon says, I still play a few flat games regularly, but only cheap ones like Warframe, Battletech, and Stellaris. And Nick Daniels says, what is the point of VR platformers? Shame on you, Nick Daniels. I'm guessing, Nick Daniels, you have never played Bound on PlayStation VR, which I think is freaking awesome. And you've never played Moss, which is probably... I'm not a huge fan of Moss, but I would say it's probably one of the 50 best VR games on any platform. So you probably have never played that as well. What other platforms are there? You've never played Lucky's Tale? What are the point? The point is, imagine that Mario is jumping around in front of you in this incredibly colorful world with waterfalls and rainbows and nice sunny sky and blue clouds, and you're like a Godzilla. You're like a Godzilla that is in this world. You're holding your controller and you're controlling this Mario guy that is inches away from your face, and you're looking at him and he looks like a little hologram. That is the point of platformers in VR. If you throw away third-person VR gaming, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Now, I understand this idea. See, Nick Daniels, you have the same opinion that Arrowin X has. And Arrowin X has this, it's the opinion that they don't want, like, what's the point of third-person VR? His opinion is, give me a shield in one hand, give me a sword in the other hand, give me a gun in this hand and a gun in that hand. You know, place me in the world, put my boots on the ground, surround me inside a world. That is what VR is all about. And I agree, that is what VR is all about. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, Chronos, Edge of Nowhere, Lucky's Tale, Moss, Bound on PSVR, Astrobot, which is coming out on October 2nd. Astrobot, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find that trailer, because can you believe that? We are less, ladies and gentlemen, we are less than 30 days away from playing Astrobot. Like, get the hell out of Dodge. Let's throw in an Astrobot trailer. We are less than 30 days away from getting our grubby little hands on Astrobot. How freaking badass is that? So this is the point of platformers in VR.
Astro is the hero of this story and he's the captain of a space.
I don't want to hear this guy talk, though. Let me find. I don't want to hear this guy. Look at that lovable guy. You're telling me you don't want a little cute guy like that running around right in front of you, and you can look down and get close to him, and he like waves at you, and he's a little magical guy running around? You gotta be crazy. Nick Daniels, defend yourself. Defend yourself, Nick. I'm going to try to find the other Astrobot trailer where it's more of just happy music playing in the background. Let's see if we can, yeah. This one I think has happy music playing in the background.
Hello, I'm...
Oh, no, shit, I did the same one. Did the same one. Hold on. I know there was another Astrobot, bruh. Where is my other Astrobot? Isn't this it? Oh, it's the same thing with just a different look? What? I guess I don't have another Astrobot trailer. My bad. But anyways, yeah, so Nick Daniels, Chris says Kronos, Edge of Nowhere, Lucky's Tale, Moss. Ray Pope says platformers look absolutely beautiful in VR. Chris says third person is awesome in VR. Brad Dahl says Hellblade. Anybody? Hellblade, duh. Lethal Weasel VR says Hellblade is one of my favorite games, period. Dude, Hellblade has ranked really, really high on the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive rankings. On both of those rankings, Hellblade hit the top 20, which is super impressive, especially being a third-person game. Fuzzy Dragon says, judging jump distance is something pancake 3D platformers have struggled with since Mario 64, and VR solves that problem. Fluke says, 100% agree with that. More than anything, when playing on a monitor, I miss depth perception. Chris Gould says, at Nick Daniels, always a good idea to try something before having an opinion on it. I'm sure, look, Nick Daniels, look, we're not trying to like kill you or annihilate you. You can have a differing opinion. I mean, my boy Erwin X, he's a knowledgeable guy. I mean, and he understands shit. And he just isn't into platformers, and he isn't into third-person VR. And there's going to be some people that are like that. I personally believe that they're missing out, but, you know, I mean, that's their prerogative. For example, like, I don't play Japanese role-playing games. I just never play Japanese role-playing games. There's people out there that would say, Anthony, you're a retard. Why would you never play Japanese role-playing games? They're awesome. You should play Japanese role-playing games. So, you know, we all have our different, Fuzzy Dragon says, finish him. And Argentina VR, platform games are great, platformer games. Paradise Decay says, burn him at the pancake steak. You know, speaking of pancakes, ladies and gentlebots, I actually had pancakes today at Mimi's Cafe, and oh my goodness, it was damn good. I highly recommend Mimi's Cafe. Their pancakes, bellissimo, bellissimo. Their pancakes are so good. I love their pancakes. Speaking of pancakes. Logan68, Bloody Zombies is fun. Yeah, Bloody Zombies. Bloody Zombies is actually really cool, and it's very cheap. What about Witchblood? Yeah, Witchblood, Paradise Decay, Witchblood up there. Yeah, there's a lot of great platformers. Now we're starting to think of all of them. I don't know if I have like any trailers of any of these things though. I think I have a Witchblade trailer, but I don't know if I have a Bloody Zombies trailer, which is a damn shame. Yeah, so here's Witchblade. I'll throw that trailer on. Yeah, let's just hammer Nick Daniels. Nick Daniels, what do you have to say for yourself at this point in time? Heretic. Yeah, Heretic in VR is awesome, says MameFan. By the way, Heretic, you can actually play Heretic in VR. But yeah, no, my serious question to Nick Daniels though is, have you played any third-person games? Have you tried any of them? Have you tried Hellblade? Have you tried Kronos? Have you tried Edge of Nowhere, Lucky's Tale, Witchblood, the Playroom VR with the original Robots Rescue? That's what Astrobot is coming from. Even Pixel Ripped, you know, Jay Pace is talking about Pixel Ripped. Pixel Ripped is not a third-person game, but at times you're doing third-person gameplay. You're basically doing third-person gameplay. So Chevy is going to admit, he's going to be one of the rare people Let's add a little bit of music here in the background. Chevy is going to admit he didn't see the point of a platformer in VR either, but he has tried some of them and he's enjoyed the ones he played. So he kind of was of the attitude, this doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they're doing it, but he tried a couple of them and he's like, wait a minute, this is actually pretty damn good. The Jordan Complex, that sinking feeling you get when you realize the stream is ending soon. Yeah, we're way past an hour. It is Friday. It is kind of fun day. So we can go a little bit longer, although this is a bad idea. It's a really bad idea for me to have these really long episodes on YouTube, because people will they'll look at the archived version of the show and they'll see 1 hour, 23 minutes, and they're like, what the hell? That is crazy long. Like, honestly, my episodes should be no longer than like 39 minutes, really. But we don't care, because we are here to serve the chatters. It's all about the chatters. Lucky's Tale is free for any Oculus account, even if you don't have a Rift. Yeah, there's no excuse. And you can get Revive. You can play Lucky's Tale. Greg's VR says, I prefer the long vids. But, dude, Greg's VR, you are the choir. You're in the chat. Everybody in the chat probably everybody in chat prefers the longer vids, because it's a party and we're kicking it and we're gathering and we're talking. It's like we're in a forum, but we're watching videos. We're getting news. It's a great little deal. So, yeah, you guys love it. I'm talking about the people that are never in chat. The people that are never in chat are not the biggest fans of this. But basically, and Chris brings up a good point. Sometimes when I'm not feeling like jumping around in my living room, I want to a sit-down third-person game is perfect. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to get hot and sweaty. Sometimes you just took a shower a few minutes ago and you don't want to get sweaty playing Beat Saber or something like that. And you need to have, these are great palate cleansers. It's a change of pace. It is a palate cleanser, and we absolutely need to have our occasional palate cleansers. I was trying to see if I had a Bloody Zombies trailer. I had all kind of trailers. I erased a whole bunch of them. I've gotten a lot more back, but I don't have all of them. Not seeing it. I'm not going to worry about it. So anyway, yeah, we are going to be ending this episode real quick, but what I thought I would do really quick is check out the subreddits real quick, just to see, what is the big news that is going on the various subreddits right about now. And let's see. I gotta go to... Okay, so here is the Vive subreddit, and yeah, there is this YouTube video. I don't understand why this is the most upvoted thread. This one right here, SteamVR Tracking 1.0. I looked at this YouTube video, and all it is they're showing a base station at like ridiculous frames per second, and it shows all the flashing, and I really don't understand why people care about that. The next biggest story is, if Metro 2033 was in VR, would you play it? Duh, of course we would play it. Pimax 8K being used with no sensors on Project Cars. That's kind of interesting. Actually, let me click on this. So link to video. I'll just see what this video... So it's a YouTube video. I could grab that video real quick. Okay, I'll go ahead and grab that video real quick in the background. Hold on a sec. And we'll see Pimax 8K being used with no sensors on Project Cars. It's on YouTube, and YouTube videos are super easy to grab with a beautiful program called 4K Video Downloader. But yeah, so over here, let's see, Puppy Chef Academy now available. Not really tripping. Oh, Hellblade. Hellblade, we were just talking about 50% off. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Recent reviews, very positive. All reviews, very positive. Yeah, Hellblade is a beautiful thing. Having problems there. I don't know what the price is now that it's 50% off. Let's try to get it again. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with that page. But yeah, Hellblade in a deal. Oh, Joe Rogan talks to Elon Musk about HTC Vive at the 42-minute mark. I'll tell you what. Oh, and that's posted by our boy MainFan. Look at this. MainFan posted this. I like Joe Rogan. I think he is highly entertaining. I love it when he talks about some really way out there type of shit. So that is kind of cool. So I am looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and let's grab this Project Cars Pimax thing and let's just see what this is. And we'll see what people are talking about here. Pimax and Project Cars. Pimax 8K. Okay. Let's take a look at this. So some guy's going to give us a breakdown on it. I don't hear any sound though, so this might not have any sound. I'll throw this on here. Okay, so this is the Pimax Pi tool. This guy is setting things up compatible with parallel projections, horizontal calibration. So he's going through a little calibration here. You can see he's running his Oculus program at the same time. So maybe he has Project Cars in his Oculus account, but he's going to view it on his Pimax, or no, maybe it's on Steam. And so this video is not a very long video. It's only like a 20-minute video. So at some point we should get to some actual gameplay of Project Cars and the Pimax. Not sure how they did it. Jay Pace says, I love Joe Rogan and I love Elon Musk. So that podcast was nerdvana for someone like me. Yeah, I just, Joe Rogan talks, he just has some very interesting discussions. Like, he will ask the questions that a lot of people are afraid to ask. He just doesn't care, and that's cool. And I mean, I don't always agree with all of the stuff that he's into, but it's a pretty entertaining podcast. Like, I'll definitely give him some love there. This Project Cars video has taken a hell of a long time to get rolling. But I guess this guy does have a Pimax, so that's how it looks when it pops up on the Steam VR. Yeah, I don't know. This video is a little bit too boring for me, guys. So we'll go ahead and... Oh, wait. Now we finally got actual volume. Oh, I thought we did. Okay, so he's got two controllers. He's got two base stations. He's got his Pimax. Oh, what? Did I start the video over? Oops, I think I started the video over. Okay, so we'll go to somewhere else. So back here, yeah, so I grabbed that Pimax video, but that was a real waste of time. Joe Rogan talks to Elon Musk. You know what I'll do, guys? I'll probably grab a little bit of that, and we can talk a little bit about that tomorrow when Elon Musk is talking about his HTC Vive. Maybe I'll just try to get a couple of short little quotes from that video. We can have that on tomorrow's show. So here is the Oculus subreddit. And as you can see, they're talking about Oculus Santa Cruz standalone VR headset May launch. I was thinking the month of May, but no, it's saying May launch Q1 2019. So, beloved lady, you should not have a capital M on that May because you're confusing us. We're thinking it's launching in May, but Q1 is not May. Q1 is January, February, March. My prediction, like I'd have to look at the calendar of March, but I would say like a Tuesday very late in March is my prediction. That is my prediction. And I personally, I'm looking forward to $599.99 or $499.99 because I want that Snapdragon 435. If it's anything less than the Snapdragon 435, I'm going to be disappointed. But anyways, not much else is going on this Oculus Rift subreddit. They're certainly talking about Echo Combat a little bit because you can get into that this week. And let's go to the PSVR subreddit real quick and see what folks are talking about over here. Firewall 0 Hour, of course, is all anybody pretty much talks about. But there is lots of talk about this Dark Eclipse free code. This has been going on in the background, this Dark Eclipse VR email. I wonder if it was some kind of mistake. Like if way too many people are getting emailed a free code for Dark Eclipse, and if that is actually a mistake, some kind of accident, Maybe I need to check my email. Maybe I've got a Dark Eclipse free code as well. Dark Eclipse, I believe, is like a MOBA. It's like a MOBA. Let me go back to my standard window. This is where they're doing that Project Cars thing. But I'm going to go to YouTube real quick, and I'm going to do a search for Dark Eclipse PSVR and trailer. I will just grab a Dark Eclipse trailer real quick, a gameplay trailer, so we can see what everybody's talking about. I've seen some of this a long time ago. We heard about Dark Eclipse a long time ago, a Japanese developed PSVR game that would eventually be coming. I'm going to go ahead and grab this trailer real quick. We can check it out, because a lot of people seem to randomly just be getting this in their email for some weird reason. So people are talking about that. Let me go back to chat real quick. Lethal Weasel says, watch the whole entire interview with Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. Oh, I'm sure. The whole entire interview. Dude, like, if you're going to kick back on your sofa with a big TV, putting on that Joe Rogan show can be quite entertaining at certain times. The Jordan Complex, Call Me Nostradamus, called out the podcast 8 months ago, probably talking about Joe Rogan and Elon Musk. Fuzzy Dragon says, Hellblade VR requires a 1080 GTX minimum. No, it does not. I have a 970, a crappy 970. Well, not a crappy 970. I actually have a very good 970, and my 970 is overclocked so much so that it's damn near a 980. It's damn near a 980, and I can play Hellblade no problemo. I do have to change it. You know, I lower the settings a little bit. I definitely lowered the settings a little bit. But, you know, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is let's go ahead and take a quick look at Dark Eclipse for PlayStation VR. This is a little gameplay footage of it. It is being published by Sunsoft. Who knew that Sunsoft was still in existence? Like, who knew? Like, Sunsoft was like the Arrow the Acrobat publisher way back in the Super Nintendo days. You know, the Bugs Bunny games and shit like that. I think those were on Sunsoft. But there's no volume for this trailer. I'm not getting any volume. So I don't have any volume here, but that's a kind of a look at what Dark Eclipse is. It's this MOBA where you kind of have this God view, basically. I don't know if you ever go into like the first person view or if it's all from this God view. But if you do get a free code for this, this is basically what you're getting. So, you know, happy, happy, joy, joy. Gary Haylock says Elon smoked a little weed. Yeah, I mean, everybody probably smoked a little bit of weed at one time or another, right? Not everybody, but most people. Back in their college days, I smoked, but I did not inhale. Of course, that was a famous Clinton phrase. Max Grit, I have the Zotac 980 10 blah, 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 blah. I have the Zotac 980 Ti Extreme. Everything is maxed out on a 4K TV, and it is beautiful. I believe he is talking about Hellblade, the Jordan Complex. Damn, I'm disappointed. Was hoping this was a first-person VR MOBA. Yeah, I guess there is no VR mode. I guess it's just all God mode. Chris Gould says, does look real cute, but basically just a God mode. So yeah, guys, we have checked all of the subreddits. We've checked the websites. We've looked at a few different trailers. We are way past an hour. It is Friday, which is my day. And you know what? It is time to bounce out of here. So I am going to go ahead and put on our outro trailer. And I will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow is Saturday, of course. And Saturday we start at 12 noon. So yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for showing up in chat today. Thank you for everybody showing up. Of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Go ahead and like the video, all those good things. And tomorrow we will be back 12 noon Pacific time tomorrow. And you know what I'm really hoping for? I'm really hoping somebody will Skype me. You know, we want to have a guest. I want to have a guest on tomorrow, Saturday. Hopefully somebody, it's a Saturday, somebody will be free. We want to try a guest. That would be cool. But I will be back tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific time. See you guys then. Take it easy. Cheers.